Good evening. Thanks for joining me. Kent Brindley here, local author. It's Ask the Author Friday, date of November the 10th. Got some questions for you. You have some questions for me. I've got some answers for you. Ask the Author Friday remains my opportunity to have a fireside chat with you guys every week. If you feel the need to submit a question, you can do that in the comments. If you enjoy this content, feel free to subscribe. Thanks. Here we go. I said good evening. What do you declare evening? Starting about 5 o'clock p.m., I start calling it the evening. I know 5 o'clock is kind of an iffy point. It's either afternoon or it's evening, depending on who you're asking. I think it's fair enough to call 5 o'clock p.m. evening. How is your NaNoWriMo project going? I'm about 19,276 words in. I'm not quite where I wanted to be by now, but it is what it is. I have had some really good days of writing. I've had some really bad days when I was not keeping up with my word count the way that I should have. We'll get after it. We will continue to pursue. What is a NaNoWriMo? National Novel Writing Month. You start November 1st. The very first word you write in this document must be November 1st. You finish by November 30th. This is your first draft. Editing comes later. Yeah. That is National Novel Writing Month. 50,000 words for a novel, 40,000 words for a novella is acceptable. Either way, I'm not yet 50% nor 40% the way there. But it's November 10th. We have time. How did you get into your first National Novel Writing Month? I heard about this from a friend from one of my classmates at Grand Valley in one of my creative writing classes. It must have been 2007 or so. Maybe it was 06. But these days I'm actually completing something. So the first time I tried it, I of course didn't complete the document. And things with the website have changed since 2006, 2007. Now it's very much the honor system as to how much you've actually written. Let alone the facts that you can save to OneDrive and it travels with you instead of having to save it to a computer, save it to a USB drive or carry the USB drive with you. Things have changed since my first National Novel Writing, both for me and for technology. Are you a planner or a pantser? A planner writes the outline, describes the characters, pretty much wants full control over this document when it comes time to write it. A pantser flies by the seat of their pants. You get it. I'm somewhere in between. I built the playlist. I mapped out the characters. I wrote the settings. I even mapped out the chapter titles. From there, I'm only enforcing so much control over this project. There's a good chance I could surprise myself if I let this project take on a life of its own from here or there. As long as I keep one little finger on it to walk it back, remind it who it belongs to. You identify with a character in your novel. The protagonist. Always the lead protagonist. He's a 10, but I'm a 10, but I just called this a 10. I'm a 10, but I don't just listen to music, I then must sing along. I'm a 10, but I recite, but I mumble passwords out loud as I am typing them. I'm a 10, but I'm a 10 with a temper and the language of a sailor. I'm a 10, but my specific person just does not agree. This has been Ask the Author Friday. If you have any questions for future weeks, feel free to hit the comments. If you enjoy this content, feel free to subscribe. Thanks again. I will see you all next week.